Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, welcome. My name is Jackie. On my little corner of YouTube, I discuss narcissistic abuse, how it affects people and their brain, and how to help, and I also try to help people heal and get their lives back. So if you like that type of content, please stay tuned for the rest of the video. In today's video, I'll be discussing what makes someone narcissistic, how to spot a narcissist, and protect yourself and your energy against them. A narcissist, or a person with narcissistic personality disorder, is someone who has an inflated sense of self. They have an excessive need for admiration and are unable to take criticism from other people. Being narcissistic is very different from someone who has self-esteem. While a person with healthy self-esteem sees themselves as good enough, worthy, and can validate from within, a narcissist usually needs other people to do this for them, so their validation and sense of self comes from the outside, particularly having people worship and praise them and put them on a pedestal. And they try everything they can to make themselves appear better than other people so they can receive said praise. And they usually do this by either exaggerating themselves or their accomplishments or making themselves out to be better than they actually are, or they try to tear down, devalue anyone who or destroy other people's images in order to seem better in comparison, or even their targets as well. They will tear down their targets in order to do a sort of role reversal to make that person feel like they need the narcissist's approval and put themselves on a pedestal above their victims. They strip you of who you are in order to take the position of authority in your life, right? So they want to control you on what you do, what you think about them yourself, what you think about the narcissist, how you see the world. They want to essentially hijack you and your worldviews and your beliefs so that you can fall in line with their worldview and their beliefs, which essentially puts them high up on a pedestal and makes them appear to be better than they actually are. So when you do this, you're unable to see the reality of who they are and how things are. Because in reality, they cannot back up the inflated ego that they have. So they create lies and illusion and they draw you in and make you believe this, and they hurt you a lot in the process. There's a lot of manipulation, gaslighting, abuse going on. So how do you spot a narcissist? Well, aside from the obvious grandiose, inflated sense of self, narcissists are the type of people who need constant admiration, validation, and celebration. This is called narcissistic supply. They need this to essentially feel alive. They feed off of people praising them. They also expect to receive special treatment because they believe they deserve this, like they are special and deserve to be treated better than other people. They always want some sort of privilege over everyone else. Like I remember I was once speaking with a narcissist I know about pretty privilege, and I was coming from the point of, how this is wrong and people should be judged on who they are and their character instead of their appearance. But from what the narcissist was saying, from what I picked up, they believed that it was wrong because they didn't have it. They thought that it was unfair that essentially other people were using a privilege which they should have access to. Not that pretty privilege is wrong and should be destroyed and people shouldn't be judged by the way they look, but more like it's unfair because they have my privilege. That belongs to me. The pretty privilege belongs to me, and other people are walking around with it, and that's unfair. Like, I should have privilege over other people, and it's unfair that there are other people who have an advantage in this sort of area. And I thought that was very alarming. And that is a narcissist in a nutshell. right? They want the sort of inequality, but with them at the top. They don't want to put everyone in an equal place or equal opportunity. They want to be above other people, to have more chances and more privileges than other people. They also tend to exaggerate and blow their achievements out of proportion because in their minds, they believe they are this brilliant, fantastic, wonderful people. And even though their reality doesn't always show that. So they create lies and illusions in order to appear that way. Narcissists also hate getting negative criticism because, as I said before, they believe they are perfect and nothing is wrong with them. Getting criticism is a huge bruise to their ego. They cannot accept any form of criticism. They're always in the right. They can't do anything wrong. They're perfect. They're right. You're wrong. That's sort of black and white thinking. That is obviously like crazy and hinged type of thinking. They also live in a fantasy world in which they are the most powerful, fantastic, beautiful, and accomplished people in the world. Again, even though it doesn't match their reality, that's why they go to the sort of fantasy world because they have this image of themselves and their reality doesn't always reflect that. So they then go to a fantasy world where they can just make whatever it is they want to make about their life. They also take advantage of other people. They will do whatever it takes in order to get what they want. People are just objects to them, objects they can use to get what they want. A narcissist is unable to recognize other people's needs or give them the love they deserve. Because everything is about them, they are unable to feel for other people. They are extremely arrogant and overbearing and exaggerate their own sense of their own self-worth and importance in a sort of overbearing, I'll shove it in your face how amazing and wonderful I am. Sort of trying to force it down people. So, do you see this? Do you see this? I am brilliant. I am amazing. Do you see this? Instead of letting what they have done and accomplished speak for itself, they want to force that idea of themselves onto you because it's only valid when other people believe it. If someone has accomplished something great and a lot of people don't know about it, you still have accomplished that. No one can take it away from you. You have it physically, right? Let's say you won a race. You have the medal, even if your family or your friends or whoever don't know about it. You have the proof. You know you won the race. You were there. But a narcissist needs other people to believe because most of what they have is false, is an illusion. So they need as many people on board to believe the lies they create as possible. Then to them, that makes it true. The more people believe it, the truer it is. So, what are the type of narcissists you may encounter? The first is the overt narcissist. They are the loud, grandiose person in the room. They're the ones who are outwardly boasting, talking about how amazing they are. They are the showman, the flashy person, that type of thing. They want to be seen. A lot of I believe, from my observation, a lot of the overt, grandiose narcissists usually find themselves in positions of power and they love being in positions of power in where they tell people what to do and they're ruling over a group of people. They have a huge ego and have no shame in showing it. Covert narcissists are the hardest to spot. Unlike the overt, I have found that covert narcissists are good at covering their tracks. They are rarely in a position of power, so they play the victim and get people to dote on them. They're best at hiding who they really are. They are the wounded narcissist. They have a huge ego, but from the sense of, I'm so brilliant that the world is out to get me. That's why I don't have opportunities, type of thing. They love to play the victim and usually paint their victims as the bad guy. Because they pretend to be wounded, someone has to be hurting them, right? Covert narcissists are extremely dangerous and extremely hard to spot. They use gaslighting, like it's one of their special tricks. They gaslight and manipulate. Even the victims, it's so hard to realize that this is what's happening to you because they paint their false beliefs and false narratives as reality onto you. So it's hard for you to see what's really happening. They're really good at hiding and covering their tracks. But once you know the truth, once you recognize and see them for who they are, sorry about that. My mic switched off. Let me just open up my notes again and start off from where I start where I was. I think I was speaking about covert narcissists. So yeah, covert narcissists are extremely dangerous because they are hard to spot. And if you believe you're dealing with a covert narcissist, you really have to be careful in the way that you move. You have to move in silence, especially if you're trying to like distance yourself or you're trying to leave the narcissist. Make sure you leave quietly. All the narcissists, to be fair, make sure you leave quietly and you have a plan and a strategy. I'll speak about this in one of my next lives, but so please subscribe and stay tuned for that one. But that's definitely something that I want to discuss. And then lastly, we have the malignant narcissist. They are very unhinged. Unhinged is the best word that I can use for them. They can be very aggressive, cause a lot of harm, and just disorganized in the way they devalue, hurt, and abuse people without any remorse for their actions. And this is all due to the fact that a malignant narcissist is also essentially uh, has antisocial personality disorder or sociopathy. The sort of aggressive, irrational, antisocial behavior kind of lines up with, well, not antisocial, uh, just aggressive, irrational, um, impulsive behavior lines up with the way that sociopaths behave. So they essentially have two brackets of like symptoms they're working with. They will have the symptoms of a narcissist, and they'll have the symptoms of a sociopath. So they're essentially both. And because not all narcissists are sociopaths, but all sociopaths are definitely narcissistic to some degree. I'm gonna do another live on this as well, talking about the malignant narcissist and how that crosses over with sociopathy and other cluster B personality disorders like is it Machiavellian? I can never say that word. And psychopaths and all of that. So yeah, subscribe if you want to listen to that one. So how does being around a narcissist like affect you internally? But it can be extremely damaging in so many ways, and it often goes unnoticed and untreated. Because being with a narcissist essentially will cause you harm and make you believe that it's either your fault or it's not happening or this is just how the way the world is. And so it's almost like there's hurt, but you kind of don't know why or how. Many people who have been around narcissists suffer from anxiety and depression, and they are unaware of the fact that the narcissist is the reason why. Because the narcissist, as I said before, does a good job at convincing you that you are the problem, that something is wrong with you as a being. So this results in you living with an internal sense of wrongness. Like something is up with you. Like, what's wrong with me? Am I not good enough? Am I not worthy? And this sort of thinking, this sort of damage leads to anxiety and depression and things like that. And this is definitely one of the beliefs that needs to be tackled in the recovery from narcissistic abuse. This sort of it's all my fault and taking on everything the narcissist does to you, taking it on and personalizing it and thinking it's about me. Like if I was someone else, if I was different, this wouldn't be happening. When the truth of the matter is, you're not the problem, they are. You could literally have whatever they say is wrong with you. Let's say they don't like the way you walk or the way you talk. If you walked and talked in a completely different manner or exact opposite of the way you do, the narcissist would still have a problem with that or would still criticize you for that because essentially it's not about the actual thing, the way you walk or talk. Their goal is to devalue you and make you feel like something is wrong with you. So, whatever it is you do that the narcissist attacks you for, you could do it the exact opposite way and you still get the same treatment because it's not you, it's them. You could be the most perfect human being in the world, and the narcissist, which obviously does not exist, the narcissist will still attack you for something because that's just who they are, that's what they do. You also, when you spend a lot of time with a narcissist, you live with a lot of guilt and shame for things that you didn't even do, or from being falsely accused by the narcissist. Or you have a lot of guilt for things that are normal, like having boundaries and saying no. And you have then internalized guilt and shame and start thinking that, something is wrong with you. Like the criticizing that the narcissist does, you internalize all of that and becomes guilt and shame because you think something is wrong with you. This leads you into feeling shameful about yourself. They tried, the narcissist also tries to mold you into the image they have for you, either into their own image or where they think you should be. And they shame away the parts of you that make you stand out, unique, and special. And it doesn't fit their plan they have for you. So, for example, if you're really good at something, you're really good at making crafts, the narcissist will make fun of your crafts or say people who do crafts are stupid or say all sorts of horrible things. Sometimes it won't even be directly to you. You could be on YouTube and a video for someone who does crafts pops up and the narcissist will start making some snarky comments alluding to the fact that crafts are stupid, crafts are childish. blah blah blah, this, that, and the other, which then essentially they're saying that about you and your crafts. They could just be jealous of the fact that you have something that you're really good at, that you're unique and special and talented at, and it looks really, the stuff you create, it looks really good and amazing, and that aggravates them. So they shame that away and make you feel like it's something shameful because they can't have you outshining them. They do this a lot. They also shame sort of like hobbies or interests that do not line up with them, or things that they like, or things they think that, you know, that they do. So if you watch certain TV show that the narcissist doesn't, instead of being like, oh, should I watch that? Is it good? They'll say, oh, that's stupid. It sounds stupid. They could even, and not even from a point of being a critic or like someone who's, they haven't seen that movie or that show. They've not seen it. But the fact that it almost offends them that you know something that they don't, they have to shame it and make it seem like it's something stupid and insult it. And that sort of thing is partly leads to sort of feeling shameful for liking things that you like, because the narcissist is always tearing them down. And you also walk around with a lot of guilt for things that you never did, because the narc is so good at projecting and blaming other people for what they do. A good example is how narcissists will mistreat their partners and then will turn around and tell everyone that, their partners are doing the very thing that they are doing to their partners, a sort of way to cover their tracks. And then hypervigilance is another thing that affects you, that you constantly feel on high alert, feeling unsafe, feeling like you're in danger, and you always have to be aware of like an incoming threat, because the knock strikes at unexpected times and frequently, and sometimes you don't have to do anything for them to just attack you. It creates a sort of hyper alertness, like you could get attacked at any moment, so you have to be prepared. You don't have to get, what do they say? You don't have to get prepared if you're already prepared, something like that. Another thing is chronic self doubt. I don't know, even know if that's a term. Can you say chronic self doubt? But a lot of self doubt, like heavy self doubt. You even doubt yourself on the smallest things, like, should I use this spoon? You know what I mean? Um, because the narcissist gaslights you and manipulates you so much, you end up not trusting your own opinion, even for the smallest things. It creates a mistrust within yourself. Like you've been conditioned to not trust yourself, your opinions, and what you know and what you feel. You've been taught that that is the enemy. You can't even listen to your own needs because they have been shut down by the knock so many times. And the worst part is that only you know what you truly want out of life and what you're meant to be doing, but because the knock makes you mistrust yourself and not listen to a word you have to say, essentially, you kind of end up lost and detached from who you really are as a person, which it's almost like losing your identity. You lose your identity in the process. And you know what the narcissist does? They take on your traits, they take on your identity, because they don't have a self of their own. They're like an empty shell, and everything they are is traits, characteristics, hobbies, likes, dislikes, all of that they've stolen and siphoned from other people. And it's almost like they need to destroy that part of the person and then take it on from this for themselves. I will do another video, or on an in-depth video on gaslighting and manipulation, and how the narcissist does this and sort of warps reality to make you believe what they want to believe. So watch out for that video. It's coming in the very near future. So with all of this, how to essentially spot a narcissist and how you feel around them, so you recognize not only what they look like, but also the feeling within yourself. If someone makes you feel this way, if it makes you feel uncomfortable, makes you feel like you're explaining yourself, how do you then protect yourself against this person? You recognize this is potentially a narcissist. How do I then begin to distance myself? Because they can be quite persistent. A narcissist will almost target you. And even though I've noticed this in my life as well, where I've noticed that, someone this person might be narcissistic, I will try to distance myself a bit from them. And this almost puts them on high alert for you, because a lot of people will believe what they say, worship the ground they walk on, and treat them like they're something special. But you're not. You're just minding your business, keeping to yourself, sitting in a corner, doing what you do. And that alerts them, because they're sitting there like, why isn't this person here like everyone else? Worshipping the ground I walk on, or eating what I'm serving. And so these methods will help you in such situations, or even when you go on a date and you recognize some behaves. Although at the beginning they do a very good job of not showing who they really are. But what I've noticed is, if you sit there and just let people speak, let them say what they want to say, the narcissist will only stop something if they realize they've crossed the boundary. So don't give them a boundary. If you're sitting there on a date with someone, let them speak their full truth. Let them go on and on and on and on. Let them do most of the speaking. You will hear in the things that they say, the things that they support, the things that they like and dislike. You will be able to pick up like, oh, I think this, yeah, there's something off here. So one of the best um, methods to protecting yourself against and your energy against a narcissist is gray rocking. This is essentially when you don't give the narcissist any reaction. You almost become like a gray rock. You're not enthusiastic, you're not angry, you're not good or bad emotions, or happy or sad emotions. You're just there. The narc feeds off of your energy, good or bad, and this is called narcissistic supply. So if they don't get anything or any reaction out of you, and they will try to push too as well. So they need this sort of energy from you to feed off of you, and also make you engage with them in all sorts of ways. So the best way is to really distance yourself and gray rocking. By doing this, you essentially starve the narcissist and prevent them from feeding off your energy. So try to make yourself as boring as possible to the narcissist. But as I said before, be warned, when you do this, they become on high alert and they keep an eye on you. They will try to push your buttons to try and get a reaction from you. And if it doesn't work, they will try to love bomb you before going back to pushing your buttons. So then they will say all sorts of things when they're pushing your buttons. They will try to offend you, try to attack things you like, attack you as a person, your personality, your looks. They have no bounds. So please do not take anything they say personally. Remember, none of it is true. The narcs are master manipulators. They distort the truth and say whatever it is they need to say, and use whoever they need to use to get what they want. So they're just attacking whatever it is about you that they think will get a reaction from you. So really don't take it personally. Which leads me to my second point on how to protect yourself from a narcissist. Respond, don't react. Sometimes the narcissist will purposefully try to make you upset or say something they know will hurt you. The best example is when they dog whistle. So, for example, we say you're insecure about how skinny your arms are, and you've told the narcissist this, and you're in a group of people, right? And the narcissist will start talking about, maybe mention a celebrity with skinny arms. And be like, oh my God, this person has skinny arms. I don't like it. It's so unattractive. And then try to get everyone else to laugh at that and make fun of that as well. And now you know this is an insecurity you have, and you know you told them, but they're out here shaming you, and nobody else knows but you know, because this is something that is an insecurity for you. And what they want to do is to get you to in fighting mode, you know, to start fighting, no, blah 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 blah, and start reacting and saying all sorts of things and get into a fight. And everyone will look at you like, why is she so aggressive? Why is she doing this and saying that? Why is she in a fight all of a sudden? This is a classic narcissistic move. They do this to make you look crazy, to get you started into a fight, to get so many reasons. And bonus points if they can get other people to start, you know, talking about it, dog whistling you without them even knowing. So when this happens, do not respond to the narcissist. Be aware that, oh, okay, this is what's happening. Do not respond. Do not get into a fight. Just sit there and just let it happen, because they will say all of this and then they'll just keep quiet because they didn't get the reaction they wanted. So never try not to respond to them. Even when just they will try to start all sorts of fights with you to get a reaction from you. Do not react. If they speak to you, just answer quietly, answer with whatever answer you've got and leave it at that. Do not give them any reactions. Gray rock them. Be as boring as possible. Another great way is to distance yourself from the narcissist. Reduce the amount of time you spend with them as much as possible. They are so toxic, and it's in their nature to mess with your mind and make you doubt yourself, manipulate you, control you, do all sorts of things. So, truly, the best thing you can do is distance yourself. Now, I know this isn't always easy for everyone. Some people might have a child with a narcissist, or maybe living or working with a narcissist, and you can't completely go no contact. So, I think it's always good to try to create as much distance as you can, because it's like I've noticed this sometimes. There are people who I used to work with who are narcissistic, and I'll speak to them today, and they will just start saying the wildest shit, and like, oh, okay, I forgot that this person is a narcissist, and they do this, and I go about my business, not speak to this person for a while, speak to them again, and they pick up where they left off. They pick up where they left off. Like, you can't. Are you incapable of having a normal conversation? It's always you speak to them, it's a fight. You're being dragged into a fight. You're being devalued, or being told this and this thing that you love is ridiculous. And did you? How about hi? How are you? You know what I mean? So really, just distance yourself. These people are like this. This is who they are. This is who they will most likely remain. Very few, if any, narcissists ever recover. So really, just distance yourself to protect yourself. And lastly, and most importantly, do not personalize. Like I said before, the narcissist will say and do anything if they knew it will get to you. So never ever personalize the things they say. Their goal is to literally devalue you, make fun of you, make you doubt yourself, make you hate yourself, create self-hate inside of you. So they will say and do and hurt whoever and whatever they can. So never take anything they say personally. And I know this can be hard sometimes, but once you really understand that what they're saying is nothing to do with you, it has nothing to do with you. It could be directed towards you, it could be something that they're making fun of, something you have on, or something that you do, but it has nothing, it's not a reflection of reality, it's a reflection of their delusions, and it has absolutely nothing to do with you. So never ever take it personally. Remember this: nothing they say is true. They have ulterior motives, so never take what they say personally. It's all a show. That's all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you find, did I say washing? Watching. It's really late where I am. So if you find this video helpful, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and share this with as many people as you can, people who might find this information helpful. Please do that. A lot of people need to know about this. Yeah. So, and if you like my content, please subscribe, hit the notification bell to stay notified when I go live again. Until next time, bye.